Hi guys, welcome to the channel, Demir2, and today we're going from we're going from Sunshine Coast Maroochydore to Sydney. So it's going to be a quick little trip. We're using On Air Company along with vatsim, and I don't think we've got any controllers on Brisbane Tower, but we're not going to use them, I don't think. Let's load the airplane. And generate our flight plan for a start using SimBrief. Flight number is going to be 2633. Call sign is Demir2. Our plane is the 789 from Horizon Sydney. Got this wrong for a start. We want the 789, 738. Oh, let's just start that again because that's messed something up there. Usually it puts me into the right thing. I didn't want to import the plan, god damn it. SimBrief dispatch. Unlink SimBrief. Oh. Here we go. 2633, and it will be the HS Sim 789. Out. Oh. Never had that before. Demir2 will be our call sign. And everything looks pretty good. We've got apologies for my coughing, it's changing weather here. It's going from summer to autumn, so every time the weather changes I get a cough. What do we got? We've got 250 passengers. Put that in there, and then we've got 70,000 pounds payload. I'm not sure if it's going to fit in the freight, but we'll try it. 70,036. No, it doesn't work. Alright, so now we go. Put the payload in instead. What's our payload? 111622. 111622. That in instead. Now we can generate that flight plan. Make sure this is all correct. And no, it's not correct. We're going to Sydney. Okay, that looks better. There's our route. Generate that. That looks pretty good. Going to be cruising at 32,000. Maybe we'll get a step climb, not too sure. We do have a fair bit of weight today. And unlink that one, import that one. That's better. A little bit of fuel, we'll validate that. And we can drag this over here while we set the plane up, while that's loading. Port that into Navigraph. This airport's not really big enough for this plane, but we'll see how it goes. Let's jump into the cockpit, get everything set up. Start with the batteries. Batteries are on. Start the APU. That way we get powered, everything. These are all off. They're automatic. Turn these to auto. Beacon light can come on. We do that with a switch down here. Nav light on. And we can turn the fuel pumps to on. Packs can go on. Everything's auto in this plane, so I'll just switch everything on. I was flying the 737 for a while, and I just started flying this one, so yeah, not very good at landing it yet. We get some pretty hard landings, but we do get it down, so that's the main thing. Everything's coming to life. Don't think there's anything I've missed. I don't use checklists. I'm not a real pilot. Let's do everything and see how it goes. Position in it. Reference airport's going to be a YBSU or Maroochydore, Sunshine Coast. We got YBSU. That into there. Our GPS position is going to be GPS IRU. No. Take it from the FMC then. That looks better. Oh. Out. Actually, I don't think you even have to put it in this plane. I only flew it for the first time yesterday, so I'm still learning the plane. Now we want, well, because I did that, I've got to type it in again, but otherwise I wouldn't have to. YBSU. Now we can go route request, and that will get it from SimBrief. Route uplink. We want to load that. That's already automatically put that in for us. Our departure is going to be Mooloo 1 on runway 13. We can't use a heads-up takeoff here, which is another cool thing with this plane, but it's kind of hard to use if you're doing a nighttime landing. And our arrival is going to be an ILS 25. It's going to be coming off runway 7, so it's one of the smaller runways, but should be big enough for this plane. Vatsim will most likely change that on us. Going to be an ILS 25. A 438 arrival with an ILS 25. That's going to be straight to a final, so we can do that. Well, that looks good. Now our performance, what we want to do here is go into the index, settings, weight and balance, set from OFP, which will get all the data from SimBrief. That's all good. Okay, back to the indents, performance. This will automatically put everything in here for us. Cost index today is going to be 64. Put that in. Our reserves, have a look. Our reserves. Our reserves are going to be 11,500. Close enough anyhow. Alright, so we want 11.5. Our reserves. That all looks good. 27 degrees outside, so we're going to go for a 56 degree takeoff. Don't really worry about any of those if you set the temperature instead. Flaps 5. Center of gravity is going to be 375. Let's see. It's on here somewhere. That is. Oh, down here. We're going to put that to 375 for our trim. And I'm just using my yoke to do that. Going too far. Oh, that's 375. Back to the MCDU. FMS. Takeoff gross weight. What's our takeoff gross weight going to be? Takeoff weight. 399. So 399.9. Minute. Don't have to worry about that. Alternate. Don't worry about that. Performance, we've already got that done. Takeoff, we've done all that. Set the V speeds. Those in. Runway 13. Okay. So that should be all good. Check our legs page, make sure there's no discontinuities. This thing's heaps different to the 737. And that's all good. No discontinuities. That's great. Now we'll go back up to here. Turn the flight directors on. And our... We didn't align the inertial systems, okay. Missed that step, that's why it is good to use a checklist, but I don't. Passenger signs can come to auto. We can go down here and turn our transponder on and change it to 2000. Unless we get ATC and they give us different instructions. Speed brake can go to unarmed. Flaps to 5. I think that's 5. If not, it's 10, but that'll be fine. Now we've got to wait for the IRS to align, which it already has. They're out. And today we will be cruising at 320 all the way. Come over here and we'll set 320 using the Logitech multi-panel. Put that right up there because we're going to be set our IAS to 180 for takeoff. Flight directors are on. We will use navigation. Nav. VNav. Right. Let's get ready for a start and push. Gonna go. Pretty much want to just get spun around where we are. This airport's pretty small for this plane. We're going to get pushed back to the right, pretty much on the spot. Where can we go to? There. Land that. Request our pushback. Doesn't look like we got any trucks here, so it's not going to give us anything. We're going to get an invisible pushback. Fine. Parking brake off. And our taxi lights can come on. Now we get pushed back. Now we can go ahead and start engine 1 and engine 2 together in this plane. Check down here. Something else we didn't do. We didn't turn starters on. Alright. Engine's coming to life. Bit of a pushback. Wait for engine start. While we do that, we'll go ahead and we'll check the weather here. Which is going to be we've got scattered clouds at 34. UNH is 1019. Ceiling of 12,000, so it might be rainy. 1019. Go ahead now and set our QNH HPA 1019. QNH is set. Engine's alive. FMC message, fuel low center, so we've got to turn the center pumps on. Emergency lights and door lights and wing anti-ice is off. Okay. Go ahead and return the anti-ice to auto. And the center tank's off because there's no fuel in them. Packs are on auto. And the emergency lights, I believe, are down here. No, they're not. They're up here. There's the emergency lights and the cockpit door is lit up. I only just started flying this yesterday, so I'm still getting used to where everything is, and there it is. Now we should be good. Window heat. We're not going to worry about window heat. An FMS message. Speed's deleted. Oh, yay. So our speeds have been deleted. Well, see if we can update them. And request the wind while we're here. Takes a minute. So that's all good in now. Back off. It's all correct. We've got our taxi lights on, so now we can start our taxi to runway 13. And we should be good to go. It's going to taxi down here and take a left on the Foxtrot. Do a little U-turn and head back up onto Alpha. Left here. Left onto Alpha. Follow that all the way down. Gonna be a big taxi. We're not going to fit through the trees, so we're actually going to go down and do a backtrack. Hopefully this runway is long enough so we can take off. We're on the runway, so turn our landing lights on. And there's one thing we forgot to do as well. Got a pre-file on vatsim. While we're cruising down the runway, we'll pre-file our flight plan. Heavy, we're going from Sunshine Coast to Sydney with an alternate of Canberra. Mulu 1, Boree, that all looks good. Times don't really matter with vatsim, it's always different. And let's file that. That's flight plan filed. Sim brief is so easy. We can start our on-air tracking system. It's going to penalise me because I forgot to start it.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
But that's fine. It's more about making the money, which we'll still make. Alright. Taxi lights can come off. Line up on runway 130. For some reason my screen has bugged out. Let's fix that. Oh. We'll just take straight off, so we turn auto throttles on. Hit toga. By the time we finish the turn, the engines are spooled up to 40, and let's go. And turn strobes on. V1, rotate.
Airborne time off.
It's pretty windy. Aussie right, gear up. We can switch the autopilot on. We'll speed up and do all the work. We can have a look. Beautiful out there, isn't it? We can go flaps to 2. Flaps up. Such a nice view coming out through the clouds. Now Boeing 787-900. Just because we can, we'll tune to Brisbane Tower. Just to hear something. She's 120,500. As we climb up through the clouds. Everything looking good. Climb up to our cruise. We've got a couple of notifications. What do we got here? It's the only problem with this plane, everything gets in the way. Climb forecast. Data. Load or purge. Okay. On climb forecast page. Right. Go back down to here. Route data. Wind request. Climb page. VNAV, I think. Yes. Climb forecast. Load. Hard to arrive. Back to legs. Yeah, I'm still learning this plane, so... everything's good. Fuel in center tank. Oh, we'll turn them back on. What else is it going to tell us? Checklist incomplete. Okay. This plane has a built-in checklist. We've done those. Before start, passenger signs are auto. MCP heading track, it's navigation. Takeoff speeds, we did that. CDU plea flight, we did that. Taxi and takeoff, we did that. Now we can go to... doesn't have a next button. Or takeoff, flaps. Up to takeoff, done, said. Fills it out automatically for you anyhow. And we haven't come to our descent or anything like that yet, so we don't worry about that. It's back to D. Extend the range to 20. Out through the clouds, over the water. Brisbane should be out to our right down here somewhere. Probably won't see it. It's a weird looking plane, isn't it, after flying PMVG for so long? And I do very hard landings with it at the moment. I don't know what it is. The trim just seems weird. Unless there's something I don't know about. We're at 18,000 feet. We should have went back to standard at 10, but that's okay. At standard now, we can turn landing lights off. And let's just cruise. As we pass Brisbane. A cloudy day. I'll let you enjoy the view while I go and grab a cup of coffee, and I'll be back as we reach our top of climb. Okay, let's get a quick listen of the ATIS.
2,500 feet. Temperature 24. QNH 1021. Wind, shear warning. Dash 8 recorded moderate undershoot wind, shear at 100 feet, final runway 19 right. On first contact with Brisbane ground or approach, notify receipt of information echo. Time check 2259. Brisbane terminal information echo. Expect instrument approach. Runway 19 left and right arrivals and departures. Independent parallel departures in progress. Wind, varying 090 degrees to 170 degrees, 10 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers, reducing to 6 kilometers, in passing showers. Light showers of rain. Clouds few 1,800 feet, scattered 2,500 feet, broken 3,500 feet. Temperature 24. QNH 1021. Wind, shear warning. Dash 8 reported moderate undershoot wind, shear at 100 feet, final runway 19 right.
Alright, let's get back to air and see if they talk. Well, it sucks there's no centre online, we don't get ATC, so we'll see if there's any on when we get to Sydney. Approaching our top of climb already at 32,000 today. It's only a short flight from Brisbane to Sydney. And everybody always sets their chrono on takeoff. I set mine when I reach cruise, so no, I haven't forgot about it. I'll always set it at cruise because your climb, your descent is always going to be different. So I try and set it for cruise. That way I know how long I've been in cruise. And we'll do a recoil check. APU's running. Switch that off so we don't lose on fuel. We've reached the top of climb, so now we'll set the chrono. Right about now. We're going to be going through Seneg, the Hugo, down to El Pagi, Essie, Adnar, Stenad, Messam, Egdon, Sadlo, Boree, onto the arrival, down into Ovals, across to Jelly, so we have to look in the FMS, see if it's a vector. If it is, we'll go to direct. It's going to be an ILS approach. So we're going to be coming in over the water into runway 25, which is one of Sydney's shorter runways, which will be fine. And then we go straight into on the Gulf, and we will just park into say 53, 32, something like that. No one's there. Relatively low speed because we've got a cost index of 60, I think it was today. 64 was our cost index. So now let's go ahead and check our fuel. £2,000 of fuel. It's more than no step climbs. Let's go in and have a look at the arrival. Our transition altitude going to be 11,000. And we'll go and have a look at the ILS to make sure that's all correct. 109.7. Oh. Have a look at our nav radios. ILS is not in there. 109.7, that's going to be. Doesn't allow us to. Okay, in the Boeing, in the 737, I'll just put that into my radio panels, but okay. The VNAV, we're going to have no step climbs. We've only got 272 to top of this end already. Departures. X. Arrival is in there. So why isn't our nav radio showing? Data. MCCOM. Data link ready. Forecast, load. I'm not sure. Ah, there we go. Approach. Still not giving us our glide slope. I'm not sure where you put it in on this plane. Must do it automatically. We're running the latest. Well, I'm not too sure. Go ahead and switch weather radar on. And our traffic. On our second one, we'll put on terrain. That's the great thing about this plane, weather-wise, it puts it all in for you. With the 737, you've actually got to put in temperatures and everything for top of descent. Very cloudy day here in Australia. But not much rain. Radio over to Unicorn. Yeah, I'll probably cut this part of cruise out of the video, so I'll see you again at top of descent. Alright, we're approaching top of descent now with a quick 40-minute cruise. So let's go ahead and start by getting the relevant QNH, which will be Sydney. QNH is 1025, so we'll go ahead and set that. QNH set. Ceiling of 12,000 clouds, temperature 25 degrees, dew point 21 degrees, 79% humidity. Few clouds at 1900 foot, scattered clouds at 2500 feet. That's all fine. In it. Approach. Not sure why this plane stays in climb thrust. Go ahead and change that to cruise. Make sure our navs are in. Yes, it is. ILS 25 will be 1097. That's correct. At 242 degrees. Well, that's saying 243, so that's fine. Probably accounting for wind. Transition altitude is going to be 10,000. Transition is 10,000. Ooh, it's 100. It's 110. There's the trans level, flight level 110, trans altitude 10. Got to be at 160 knots by jelly. Let's make sure that's correct. That is incorrect. Need to put 160 in jelly. That's no, wrong. 160 slash. There we go, that's better. Go down to 3,000, which I've already set, and our missed approach will also be 3,000. So that can stay at 3,000. For our missed approach, we're going to track 242. Set that on the heading using the multi-panel 242. Track 242. Climb to 3,000 as directed by ATC. There's currently no ATC. Track 242 and then restart the approach. Not sure why that's slowing down now. But anyway, on. Wasn't supposed to slow down until jelly. It's dead here, but for some reason it wants to slow down to 160 now. But that's fine. We can just make it speed up. Bending rapidly. As we're coming into Sydney. Not much out here yet. I'm too used to the 737, it does not stand this quick. But that's okay. Go up to speed a little more. $18,000 feet. Landing lights on. Now we'll put it back into mini speed. Set our auto brakes to 3, it's already set. Arm our speed brake. In this plane it automatically uses the speed brakes. We might be doing a missed approach here because we're way too high. See what happens. Give some speed brake to slow it down. This is only my second flight with this plane, so I'm not used to it yet, but we will get there. Landing's probably going to be a hard one. As we get to, this plane can descend really quick, so as we get down to 160, should descend quick enough. As long as we can get stable before that last turn. Go flaps 1, flaps 5. Down we go. Speed brakes extended. Help that descent as we come into Sydney. Might even go flaps 10 now. Also put landing gear out, that'll help it descend. And go flaps. Not the best approach I've ever done. Not best for our first YouTube video either, but anyhow. Start. At this rate we might make it down in time. I don't usually put the gear out this early, but I just want to help that descent. It's a lot quicker than I expected. I'm used to a 737 where by this point you're doing 250 and don't really slow down till you're on final. Aim strip there. Come down into the clouds. Checklist incomplete. What checklist is that? Sent. Recall, auto brakes are done, landing data, minimums. Minimums are gonna be set. 50 loop, takes too long. Now we change our QNH. Back to ND. This one might be a go around. We'll see how it goes. Well, no, I think we're fine. Speed brakes back to armed. Go flaps 20. Cells speed to 160 now. Might even make this an auto land if it doesn't. Not sure how the auto land works with this plane. The approach. Bring the speed down there. Our landing speed, which would be 157. Can't read that. 157. Managed to get stable. Now that was a rapid descent. We come across Sydney. Moment now, the localizer should come alive. Maybe a little high. So I'll go ahead and I'll set the altitude down to 2000. Headset just turned off. And the localizer side slope is coming alive. And we've captured. Now, I'm not sure if this does auto land by itself or not, but we'll see how it goes. It's also armed the speed brake itself. As we come down over Sydney. It's very hard to see the lights. Like the navigation lights and that in the daytime. Change the speed. Speed brakes extend by itself in this plane, which is a nice feature. And we have got auto land activated, so with a 737 you've got to have it programmed in both navs and actually arm it yourself. With this thing it does it automatically apparently. It's nice. And we get ready for a go around because this is a short runway. That flaps 30. Let's see how this goes.
Approaching minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Minimums.
The reverses. Auto brakes are on 3.
Landing time log.
Hard landing. We're braking. Reverses off. Taxi lights on. Engage autopilot and off the runway. There we go. Park. Here on the Gulf. Flaps up. Big brake up. Landing lights can come off. Take a left turn into the International. We'll go for gate 34. Will be this one. Just to idle. Stop at about here. Parking brake set. APU on. Wait for the APU to start. Flight directors can come off. IAS should be fine for next takeoff. Checks, that's all. And our checklist. Let's finish that off while we wait for the approach. Altimeters, we did that. Landing, we did. Shutdown, hydraulic panel. Parking brake, yes. Fuel pumps, we'll just leave them on, we're going to go again. QR, override that too. Alright. APU running yet? Yes. Let's go ahead and shut down the engines.
Engine off, time logged. The flight is finished.
Nav lights and strobes can go off. Taxi can go off. But we can turn all the pumps off. Except for the left. That's the one the APU runs off. There we have it. How did we do? Engines are shut down. Yeah, the beacon can come off as well. And job done. Landing 3-4, that's not too bad, could have been smoother. 20% increase. Safety bonus, I don't know why we didn't get safety. Would have pinged me for having the engines going to start. And that's all there is. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll try and do more and better content, but as for a first video, this went pretty smooth, I think. So yeah, take care, enjoy. If you like, then leave a like and subscribe. Would help us build the channel in the future, but thanks for watching. Good one.